This is my current laptop. It's a Lenovo ThinkPad T15 Gen 2. It has an 11th Gen Core i5 and 16 gigabytes of RAM. However, this is a Windows laptop, and the trackpad on it sucks. Well, the power on it is pretty good, and the battery life is decent for a now going on a couple-year-old laptop. There are some things I could fix about it, but I've never liked new laptops, so I think it's time to forget this laptop and build a brand new one. So I kinda did something strange for this one, and since Windows 11 is such a buggy mess of an operating system, I decided I'm going to switch to Linux. But most Linux users use ThinkPads, but I've always liked Dell computers, especially the older ones. So I did something different, and for about $70, I went ahead and got this Dell Latitude E6540 for about $70 on eBay. It currently has an i5 4th Gen and 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 60 gigabyte solid-state hard drive, and I believe it has Windows 10 on it right now. Now, since this laptop only had 4 gigabytes of RAM, I bought a 16 gigabyte kit of DDR3L, which will up it to a total of 16. I also bought a 256 gigabyte solid-state hard drive, and a brand new old stock battery, since the laptop came with no battery. I also purchased this motherboard out of a broken gaming laptop that has an i7-4700MQ in it. This will be used to upgrade the processor from 2 cores with 4 threads to 4 cores with 8 threads. Now, I may ask why I'm doing these upgrades, and the answer is right here. With Windows 10, the CPU is pinged to 70% consistently, and I'm already using 2.5 gigs out of the 4 gigs of RAM, and it's just not great. So I'd say it's time to forget Windows on this laptop and move on to Linux. So first I'm going to start by removing the old hard drive. Taking the caddy off the old hard drive. And then also take out the rest of the screws for the rest of the laptop, which for this laptop is only 2. And then taking off the bottom panel, which is kind of a pain with some of these clips, but you just have to push to get them off. And that's the inside of the laptop. So first, we're going to take out this old 4 gig stick of RAM, and then we can install our new 16 gigabytes kit, which just snaps right in. And then we can slowly lift our heatsink up and off the old processor. Kind of wedged in there, but you just have to wiggle it a little bit. And then just like that, you just flip it over. And with our new CPU out of the old motherboard, we can go ahead and take out the old CPU. And then we can go ahead and at the same time drop our new one in. Kind of have to line it up, and once it drops in, you just tighten it right back up. That until it sits, and then you have your new CPU installed. And then I can put the bottom cover back on, after making sure it clips in. After putting the 2 laptop cover screws back on, we can slide in the solid-state hard drive. After getting the hard drive screws in, we can pop our battery in. Just like that, the build should be complete. After getting it plugged in, power it on, and immediately start spamming F12. See if we get a post. Yo, we get a post. Yeah, Dell, whatever, keep complaining. Alright, let's see. Yo, 4700 MQ! 16 gigs of RAM, too. Alright, next thing we have to do is get Linux installed. I'm not going to bore you with the Pop! OS, my distro of choice, the installation process of it, but as you can see, it's installed. And the NeoFetch shows the new processor and all the RAM. So now, let's start testing it out. So after using this laptop consistently for about the past 2 weeks, it has been treating me extremely well. The processor is not giving me any lag, and I've never been running out of RAM. The hard drive capacity is more than enough as well. However, Steam has been having some issues running some games. I think a bug is out in Proton or something, but that should be fixed eventually because it's working just fine on my main PC. So, I think this laptop is a great project. It's well done. And you may be asking as well why I'm waiting till now to switch to Linux. Well, my main other laptop was actually my main laptop because I had a class that required Windows. However, that class has ended, so now I don't need to use Windows for anything outside of a VM for editing. So I've decided to move my main laptop over to Linux, but my desktop has been running Linux consistently for the past 1.5 years. So, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please like it, dislike it if you didn't like it. And until next time, see you in the next one.